It's time for Chewing on the Wire Radio.
No, God! No,
Hey,
God,
no
please,
biting.
no!
Hey,
No!
no biting. Okay? You want me to bite you? You know that hurts, Daddy. I told you, silly. No biting, okay?
My plans to break away, but there is just for 30 days. Sweep 'em up, power plays. Ain't no messing in our way. Feeling like it with the day. Masasaki all the way. Feeling like it all the way. Feeling like it with the day. It's time for takeaways. Shut up and Sally Place. Black and blue gonna win the day. Feeling like it with the day. Masasaki all the way. Feeling like it all the way. Masasaki win the day. Crawling through my fingers, baby. Product of my skin. You always had a way of feelings. You made me feel like death. I can't even think straight, baby. You're always in my head. You grab me by my neck and then you kiss me until I'm dead. I'm caught up in your spider web. I don't know what to do. Now I feel I'm all caught up with you. I'm all caught up in feelings and I hope that ours collide. You made me feel so happy, honey, when you went away my insides. And I can't even think straight, baby. You're always in my head. You grab me by my neck and then you kiss me until I'm dead. And I'm caught up in your spider web. I don't know what to do. Now I feel I'm all caught up in you. And I can't even think straight, baby. You're always in my head. You grab me by my neck and then you kiss me until I'm dead. And I'm caught up in your spider web. I don't know what to do. Now I feel I'm all caught up in you.
Alrighty then. Welcome back to another episode of Chewing on the Wire. A late episode of Chewing on the Wire as compared to what we normally do. We were nuts deep in our episode this morning, and there was some weird signal, some weird thing going on. All you were able to see was a white screen that said like something error. I don't even know what it was because I think I deleted. I might still have this thing. What did it say? Playback error or something? And it was straight up an hour of this white screen error occurred in lazy load. So I don't know what's up with that. I don't know. That's our system, but I don't know what's up with that because I could see us from my screen. We were, live for an hour type of thing. But all right, whatever that is. Nothing we said bears repeating, but I'm going to repeat it anyway because you know how I am. Why not? As per usual, as our Wednesdays usually go, we had some fun having little talks with Rover's Morning Glory on WMMS. Always put in our little Wednesday wisdom with them on certain things. Didn't leave Alan a message this time. Gotta remember to do that next Wednesday. But anyway, if you were listening to WMMS earlier, heard those comments, or you were just listening to WMMS and came over and listened to this, thanks for joining us later than usual. Usually we fill the gap when there's kind of the repeating song sometimes over there between Rover and Alan, but because that's what we listened to. Those were our inspirations to do this, so we didn't want to cut either of them off, so we kind of hopped in there in the middle. But regardless, if you're listening regardless of what you listened to before. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. That first song you heard after our intro was called Arachnophobia by Methwax. I'm really into, like, gosh, I don't know if it's just the changing seasons. I don't know what it is, but I'm really into those, like, anonymical, like, love song type of things. I don't know why. I don't know why that hit me. Everyone, like, I keep playing them or talking about them or putting them on Instagram and all, or not Instagram, my Snapchat stories, just over like a picture of the cat or some random crap, because I'm jamming to that song right now. That's all I'm thinking about. And everyone's like, "Uh oh, who's this about?" It's like no one. Like they're, oh, he's crushing on someone. Really not. I'm just sitting out on the porch or sitting here with our window open right next to us, if you can hear that. I'm just kind of jamming, and it's just like, yeah, that feels right. Like that Arachnophobia song just played. Caught up in your spider web, choking me, all the good stuff, all the stuff I like to hear. With that being said, if I can get my screens figured out here. Where even is the right screen here? All right. We're going to take a quick break already. If you are new here, this is kind of something new we're starting already. We're starting to take a couple more breaks, but do some fun stuff in the middle. We're going to play you some videos as well as some music instead of just silence and or advertisements and or sometimes the same song over and over. So we're going to take a quick break here. We'll be right back.
Ensam sjöman är långt från svenska kusten skär. Ska jag fira julen här på Hawaii? Ensam sjöman är långt från svenska kusten skär. Ska jag fira julen här på Hawaii? Men det lindrar ej hemlängtans glöd. Men det lindrar ej hemlängtans glöd. Ensam sjöman är långt från svenska kusten skär. Ska jag fira julen här på Hawaii? Ensam sjöman är långt från svenska kusten skär. Men det lindrar ej hemlängtans glöd. ska jag fira julen här på Hawaii. Ensam sjöman är när blåbrott skall kusten skär. Ska jag fira julen här på Hawaii. Men det lindrar ej hemlängtans glöd. Men det
All right. I think that is going to wrap up our time in Cleveland. This.
I didn't have my microphone down. Alrighty then. Am I back on? Gosh, I hope this one's working this time. Anyway, one thing I can say about that video is Slider can really slam the skins there, if you know what I'm talking about. And I tried to add as much, unedited, real stuff going in there with him playing the drums. Because I was honestly kind of impressed. Like, usually when they have the mascots playing the instruments and all that stuff, they're like, faking it or holding the bass, holding the guitar, nothing's plugged in, obviously. I gotta take a drink. Hold on, time out, dry throat. Anyway, but he was actually like, as much as there was music playing over it or other people playing instruments or just, the DJ type of thing, he was hitting every beat on that, Prince song, the whole 9 yards of that, all that. So we had some topics, some discussions just in my life that I feel I need to bring up. One of them we're going to get to a little bit later. I don't want to go too in depth with some of the stuff that I have. I'm like, I want to wait till SOH comes back, Scotty on the Hunt, because they have to do with amusement parks. If I haven't said yet, he's going to come back before this amusement park season starts, break down what's happening this year, talk about King Nicole, the rest stuff like that. But I don't want to get too much in that. I'm going to get a little bit into it, and I guess that's okay because it's not going to be the same conversation. You're not going to hear the same conversation twice because obviously he's going to make it different. I guess that's it. I was going to say, I'm probably going to say it in different ways, come up with different ideas. So I'll get into it a little bit. But before we get into that, another just random conversation. I was talking with one of my coworkers at my other job over the weekend. I don't remember how it came up. She was talking about piercing she had and stuff like that. Probably because I got a new tattoo last weekend. The correct pronunciation, tattoo. Anyway, it's probably something because related to that. But regardless, I was asking a billion questions about piercings because I'm not really sure anything about them. That's a weird, I could never get one, I don't think. Because I have, nightmares about, having holes in my hand, in my skin. I just, tattoos. Almost pronounced it wrong. Tattoos are okay, but, because it's just kind of drawing, a couple layers deep of the skin. But putting a hole completely, through and out in something is, I don't think I could possibly do that. I gotta hurry up with this. I'm losing my train of thought. The window's open. The cat's here. Cars are going by. I'm trailing off here. But regardless, I had a billion questions because I found out you can get the septum piercing in different sizes, which I didn't know was a thing. I think she was one of the first people that I know that I've been able to talk to and not just seen out in public with don't know if they have a name. The piercings in your ears that have they're the circles, stretched ears. Is that what they're called? And boy, I had to throw the heck back. I asked, how do you start doing that with the stretched ears? And she showed me the little cylindrical things you use to do it. I was hit with a like I was hit with memories like a semi truck. I had two. The two girls I dated in high school both had those cylindrical things in, and I don't think I even knew what they were for. That's what they're for. They're for like stretching your ears like that. I thought it was a fancy, like, albeit even when I was in high school, I wore spiked belts. That was my thing. Heavy into that kind of music. Just the culture, all of that, sub pop, everything. I don't think I realized that's what they were for. But regardless, we had this whole conversation about piercings, and she left me with a question. It's probably a little bit of the ADHD is the reason I'm still thinking about it however many days later, because I can't remember if it was Friday, Saturday, or Sunday that we talked about this, because I'm bad with stuff like that. But she was like, so you don't think you would ever be able to get a piercing? And I was like, damn, I don't want. At first, I was like, no, because I feel like this is a random thought, but like whatever you have in there is going to kind of draw attention to you in a way. And that's not a bad thing, but I'm more of the hide in the background, sit in the corner of the room. I couldn't have like shiny ear piercings in. But then I was like, you know what? The person that I was talking to, I try to keep anonymity on the show because I don't know if they want me to talk about them, so I'm not like, but the person that I was talking to, she had a septum piercing, is the one in the middle, and then two on either side, like the tops of her nose. I didn't even realize that. I also haven't been, staring at her in the nose, but I didn't even realize she had like two on the sides, and it was. So maybe I'm completely wrong in saying it would draw attention because I didn't even realize that they were there. I don't know. It's one of those. I was sitting around, kind of like maybe, but then it was like maybe just for the vine, if you know what that I mean. Do it for the vine, if you know what I mean. Do it for the vine. Classic saying. But then I don't know, because I feel like I wouldn't be able to take care of that without being like, like getting grossed out, because I can't like I don't care if other people have them. This is like a weird comment, but like again, one of the ex-girlfriends that I um had like that thing in her ear, the cylindrical thing and all that. I don't even remember the like context of the situation, but it was one of those, something got stuck on like a blanket and I was like, oh, here, let me help you. And I like took it out and then put it back in her ear. Didn't bother me. But like if it's on me, I don't think I could put my finger like in my own ear, even if it's just a tiny little regular ear piercing and not the stretch, the tiny. I don't know if I can do that. I feel like that would gross me out. I can't do like through and through skin stuff like that. But I have 7 tattoos. So maybe that's just a great divide. Maybe on the tattoo person. Some people are both, and some people are either or. I like trying to get people on a tattoo train because I think it's one of those, the biggest, the best way to express yourself. Especially like the way I do it, everything that is on my body, I drew. And then like basically printed out with the one of the ink sheets, put it on my body and was like, trace this type of thing. And I've been going to the same guy for tattoos for a while too, so he gets a gist, he gets what's going on. But so I've been trying to get people on the tattoo train. Now this particular person I was talking to said, I think she has a tattoo on her side, if I can remember correctly. I don't know. This is an offense. This is not of offense to anyone. If I have any personal friends, companions, buddies listening to this, and if you're like, you can't even remember what conversation, I can't. Like, I remember you. I remember the things you like. This, that. If I really like you, I remember your name. That's a big one. Remembering which one you are, your name. That's amazing. That that like I don't hate you if I remember your name. That's insane. And it was another one of those things. Not to drop a news bomb on you, but it was like I was about to text the person I was talking to about the piercing, about something completely different because we also talk about horror movies. She's one of the 4 people that isn't grossed out when I talk about like Terrifier and stuff. Oh, biggest Terrifier fan I've ever seen. She's got a whole thing, a whole collection. But I was about to text her today because I'm like, did you hear? And this is also news for you guys. The Saw 11 that I swear was coming out September 24th, 2025 was the date, and there was like a trailer for it, got completely cut. It got completely cut, and then the person writing it said something about like because Lionsgate was effing them over with the script. I thought there was already a trailer out and stuff. But anyway, the reason we're getting into this, I was about to text her and be like, "Oh my God, did you hear about Saw?" I don't think it was her I was talking to about Saw with. I think that was my other buddy. I don't. This is what I mean when sometimes memories are just faded. That's probably something. That's probably something that should be concerning. But guess what? I don't have time to think about that. Anyway, so what was I saying? Talking about that? Yeah, no, I'm trying to get people on the tattoo train. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, you can text me. What do you think? Piercings or tattoos? Which would you rather get? Do you think one's gross? Nah, not gross at all. They're both completely normal. I don't know. Text me at 216-626-0443. That. Oh, excuse me. God, I burped. Oh my God. Oof. Sorry. Did I say the phone number? 216-626-0443. Yeah, text me. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. With that being said, we're gonna take another break here. Gonna play you some more music if I can find a song that isn't completely copyrighted. It might give us problems on our live stream on YouTube, which I'm sure you're watching this at. So anyway, we'll be right back.
Why don't you ever wanna play? I'm tired of this piece of string. You sleep as much as I do now, and you don't eat much of anything. I don't know who you're talking to. I made a search through every room, but all I found was dust that moved in shadows of the afternoon. And listen, about those bitter songs you sing, they're not helping anything. They won't make you strong. So we should open up the house, invite the tabby 2 doors down. You could ask your sister if she doesn't bring her basset hound. Ask the things you shouldn't miss. Tape hiss in the modern man, the Cold War and card catalogs, to come and join us if they can. For girly drinks and parlor games, we'll pass around the easy lie of absolutely no regrets. And later maybe you could try to let your losses dangle off the sharp edge of a century. Talk about the weather or how the weather used to be. And I'll cater with all the birds that I can kill. Let their tiny feathers fill disappointment. Lie down and lick the sorrow from your skin. Scratch the terror and begin. Believe stop the self-defeating lies you've been repeating since the day you brought me home. I know you're strong.
All right, if I didn't have to cut that out, that was called, what was it called? It's called Plea by a Cat Named Virtue. And now I'm trying to find, is it by The Weaker Thens? Weaker Thens. If I did have to cut it out, you can go look up that song. Just click pause on this. Go look up that song. It's a good, thought it was a good, springtime summer song. Your cat looking outside like, what the hell is going on? Let's do something, Don't feel bad anymore. Get outside, go see the sun, go do something, That's a good one. That's a good one. All right, so to get in some roller coaster talk. And I kind of got two ends of the knife to go on here, double-edged sword, if you will. Kind of the same topic, but a different thing. My view on the whole Kingda Ka thing. So I feel like in general, with what Cedar Point does, and I promise this isn't supposed to be the Cedar Point fanboy talk, all that kind of crap, but it's like, it's one of those situations where I feel like Cedar Point does what they do because it's the most you can do. And I just mean that by, let me go off on another tangent for a little bit. Let me go off on another example before we get to Kingda Ka. Steel Vengeance. So you have Steel Vengeance, 200 whatever feet, Then they're like, let's top that. And the ones that have topped it, there's only two I can think of. I can't remember the one's name. It's in like Germany. But then the other one is Iron Gwazi. And I'll never forget Iron Gwazi because it's the one that pissed me off the most. It's like, here, look at this. Boom, we topped it. We topped Steel Vengeance. The thing is, though, once you go higher than that 200 feet, and some of this is like an assumption because there seems to be a certain height nobody will go above. So my assumption is once you get over that like 200 foot something mark, 200 however many feet, you can't really use wood as a complete support, whether it be because of wind, just because of the balance of the infrastructure. So you have all these other people that are like, we're building an RMC bigger than that one. It's no longer the biggest in the world. Then you go and see it, and it's a steel structure. So it's just a steel roller coaster. Like, I feel like that's so cheap, basically. Or I got a picture here, so we can kind of go on here. If you see what I mean here, hold on. Let me, so we can make a big screen here. So you see, there's wood down here. It's kind of blurry, but can I find a better one? Oh, maybe this one, right? Kind of. Let me go back to the other one for a minute. If I can find it, or maybe I just lost all of them. I don't know. Maybe you can get it from this one. But if you see, all of these supports, if you can see where my mouse is wood. All of these are wood right there with the steel track. How an RMC, a hybrid ride's supposed to be. Can I find a better? Oh, I guess we're back to the blurry one. But you see wood. There's wood right here, all wood. But then this right here, the whole hill, that's making it taller than, what about this? Can we see this? That's making it taller than any other hybrid coaster. Again, right here, wood, 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 wood. Steel. So, like, I guess steel, wood equals hybrid, but it's like Steel Vengeance is all completely wood there. There's none of this BS. This is a steel lift hill. Like, that's, you can see 1, 2, 3. It's a steel lift hill. Then everything by the ground's wood. I just think that's cheap because then let's look at Steel Vengeance here. Gee, I'm gonna spell it wrong. Don't make fun of me. Let me make sure we're still sharing here. So when I looked up Iron Gwazi, a bunch of golf clubs came up, and now we're looking at boat motors apparently. But anyway, so here's Steel Vengeance. Just a wee bit shorter than Iron Gwazi, still in the same, still both RMCs, both hybrid roller coasters. But look at that. It is completely wood. So like I feel like this should be a classification, and then this should be a classification. Cause it's like one of those, like, the entire reason we have a tallest wooden ride classification and a tallest steel ride classification. And I know with hybrid coasters, they're trying to do both because it's a hybrid, it's got both. But it's like steel and wood can do two different things. I think hybrid's one of those, we're going to max out at the wood's height, the wood's length, but we're going to do some crazy things in the middle, like show you how you can warp it as long as it fits the track, and then you can have an invert on a wooden ride. But then when you just start building the whole thing and having it be steel, but then there's like a weird footer by the ground that's wood, that's just a steel roller coaster, that, you know what I mean? And not everyone agrees with that. But that's my little tangent on it. But with that being said, and now these are two rides that are a lot closer together when we're talking about Kingda Ka, and I'm going all the way back to Top Thrill Dragster. So let me look this up. I'm going to try if I can find a picture of both of them together, because it's got to be, that's a pretty good one. I think I can share that. So here we go again with this. Just so you can see. So you see they're basically the same ride, but Kingda Ka over here, if you can see where my mouse is. I don't know if this thing is showing you my mouse or not, but to the left on Kingda Ka, when you come down the hill, you go up this little incline, because Kingda Ka did go faster, so I think it's just a way to help it slow down, is it made it go up, and then once you get to the top, it hits brakes, and then it kind of ascends down the brakes. But regardless, I feel like Cedar Point went as high as you comfortably, reliably, I shouldn't say reliably. Uh-oh. Not the right word to pick, reliably. There we go. I had to get that in there. I hope I got it in there. We'll replay it again reliably. There we go. But yeah, not the right word to pick with that. Anyway, I feel like it's just comfortably the tallest that you can go. So then when, like, it's one of those, I feel like Cedar Point figured that out. Same with like they did with like Millennium. It's the tallest you can go with that type of track without having it be like with that intimate type of track. Because a lot of the rides that are taller than Millennium are then, B&M track, different kind of cars. I think the same thing, like Cedar Point tested it at Knott's Berry Farm, did a little different stuff with it, and then they're like, all right, based on how that worked, we could probably add this many more feet, and it'll still be comfortable. Because you have just the cars with the lap bar, all that kind of stuff. Then Six Flags was like, well, we got to top them. Let's make this Kingda Ka thing. And then it shook like an MFer. You had to have the restraints over your head because of how rickety and all over it was. I just don't think it was it. And then when they were both having the same problems, and Cedar Point was like, well, we'll figure it out with our original. But then when they combined, and they're like, it took us so long to figure it out that it actually closed a couple weeks into the season because the trains still weren't right. Trains. Said that in a weird way. But the The track was good. It was going as fast as we wanted, but the wheels couldn't keep up, with the speed. So we're closed the rest of the season type of thing. But I think we figured it out, it sounds like. They're marketing it as a first and one and only of its kind type of ride. B, I don't think they'd want to do it again. B and a half, they'd have to probably refigure out the trains because the King of Chicago's faster and is taller, and it was already hell on earth to figure it out the first time. So I don't think they're going to do it again. And so that's why I think that was just the end of that ride. And that's not that I agree with that or, think it should have been, but it's just, I think we have to face the reality. It's almost the same thing, and this is kind of a weird because it might not be as world renowned, but the same thing with Wicked Twister. Regardless of, it was still the only of its kind. No one topped Wicked Twister with the double twists at each end. How beloved it was, yada yada yada. A landmark, a benchmark for enthusiasts, whether you loved it, whether you thought highly of it or not. It was just, it ain't working anymore, and it ain't worth it to fix it. Sadly, these are businesses. Not just playlands, which we kind of treat them like, but So I think that was it with King Dakar. That's my whole opinion on the whole thing, at least. All that good stuff. With that being said, I think we got to throw in one more break here before we close ourselves out. And guess what? I wasn't ready for the break. So let me pull up my songs again because nothing's loading. Do we have anything? Yeah, we're on with that. All right. Once again, hopefully this song doesn't get cut out. See ya in a minute, though. We'll be right back.
This bed is on fire with passion and love. The neighbors complain about the noises above, but she only comes when she's on top. My therapist said not to see you no more. She said you're like a disease without any cure. She said I'm so obsessed that I'm becoming a bore. Oh no. Ah, you think you're so pretty. Called your hand inside the till, slammed your fingers in the door, bought kitchen knives and skewers, dressed me up in women's clothes, messed around with gender roles, lied my eyes and called me pretty. Moved out of the house, so you moved next door. I locked you out, you cut a hole in the wall. I found you sleeping next to me, I thought I was alone. You're driving me crazy, when are you coming home?
Alrighty. In case that song did have to be spliced out, thanks to the YouTube gods, the song was called Laid by the band James. If you want to, again, pause the video, take a minute, take a break like I did in case the break had to be skipped on YouTube, and go listen to that song. Take a potty break. Go listen to Laid by James. Take a break. Go pee. Go poop. Do your thing. The last thing I think I want to cover is this year, if all goes as planned, we will have officially covered on our YouTube channel and our website with our photography and stuff every single MLB team. And I, once again, don't have my sound effects. I don't have my freaking... Oh. Uh-oh. Am I gonna get fined for saying frickin' here? You know what? I'll tell you what. Let me find this. Let me find something. This is we're going somewhere. If the FCC will let you have, the FCC is letting this slide still. If I can't say I can't use any of the F words, it seems like, with how some of these have been demonetized and all that. But the FCC is letting this slide still.
There's one pet I like to pet, and every evening we get set. I stroke it every chance I get. It's my girl's pussy. Seldom plays
Like
and
that.
never purrs. And I
That is, we're gonna let that slide.
My girl's pussy.
That's fine. Let me pull this up. Let me put the screen. Look at this dude's face. Hold on. Let's.
The weather's like, it's always nice and warm. It's never dirty, always clean. In giving thrills, never
Here we
mean.
go.
But it's the best I've ever seen. Is my girl's pussy.
Look him in the eye as he's saying "my girl's pussy." He's talking about a vagina, and he's not hiding it, and he knows it because he wouldn't be looking like that if he wasn't. But anyway, we're getting off track here. Let's put me back on. So yes, we will have every single MLB team covered after this year, if everything goes as planned. A lot of what was holding us back there was we were like 32 teams, and we could only do so many per year. Is this going to take 32 years? Like, there's no way. Like, because we have traveling to do for this that doesn't involve the baseball, stuff like that. But, oh my God. got a bug from the window flying in here or something. Jeez. Anyway, but we're like, hold on. We said we'd cover every baseball team. Not necessarily cover / go to every baseball stadium. So as they come here, which they'll flip-flop, and they'll do within like 2 to 3, maybe 4 years, they'll all be in Cleveland at one point in time. Let's just go see them and do a video there. Talk to them there. Talk to their travel agents, all that stuff there. Boom, we covered them. Now, minor league, we're still going to their stadium because we want to talk to their a representative to talk about their community relations and what that means to the community. But as far as MLB goes, I think we figured it out, and I think we're going to do it this year, hopefully. If all goes as planned with our traveling and so on and so forth, all that good stuff. Anyway, with that announcement, I think that's all that I got to give you today. Thank you for hopefully listening to If This Is Working, the second iteration of Chewing on the Wire radio on this fine sunny Wednesday. See you next time. Bye.
We'll meet again. Don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. Keep smiling through, just like you always do, till the blue skies drive the dark clouds far away.
Dearly beloved, are you listening? I can't remember a word that you were saying. Are we demented or am I disturbed? The space that's in between insane and insecure. Will I find what's left behind? Is there anywhere left to go? Crash and burn. Let's not return where there's no place left to go. And the low light screaming, I wanna be alright. I wanna be okay tonight. What's the meaning to be satisfied? I just wanna be alright. Oh, therapy, can you please fill the void? Am I retarded or am I just filled with joy? Nobody's perfect and I stand accused, for lack of a better word, and that's my best excuse. Will I find what's left behind? Is there anywhere left to go? Crash and burn. Let's not return where there's no place left to go. And the low light screaming, I wanna be alright. I wanna be okay tonight. What's the meaning to be satisfied? I just wanna be alright. Alright. Dearly beloved, are you listening? I can't remember a word that you were saying. I wanna be alright. I wanna be okay tonight. What's the meaning to be satisfied? I just wanna be alright.
Sean writes, "Hi, my name is Sean, and I've listened to your show since the early days. I've enjoyed everyone as they all feel like family to me. On today's show, Rover made comments about parents making their autistic kids be a certain way just to fit into society. Being autistic, I could not disagree more with his comments. No one should be forced to conform to society norms." Well, there are certain societal norms, like, for instance, we wear clothes out in public, so nobody should be forced to do that. I mean, what do you mean? Nobody should be forced to conform to society's norms. It's not our job to fit into society. An autistic child/adult should be free at all times to express themselves. Okay, just like in a movie theater, some kid with Tourette should be free to yell out "F you" to everyone every 20 seconds. Yeah, you're right. As long as it isn't mean or disrespectful, but if it's not hurting anyone, even if they sometimes meow, so what? Let them be. Okay, as I was okay, if you want your kid, if you have a kid who's 14 years old and you think it's a good idea that they wear cat ears and tails, and anytime they feel uncomfortable, they meow, sure, encourage your kid to do that. Tell them that's okay. And let's see how fast they last in a job in the real world. You're right. You're really setting them up for success. I'm sure at the first job that they have, they'll be more than happy to let your child, when he's confronted with something, it may be an answer he doesn't know in a meeting or an angry customer, he can go in the back room and curl up on the heated adult-sized dog bed that they have back there for him. I mean, it's so... Skids says, "I used to be a special ed teacher, and I can tell you that special ed programs at school are literally made to help kids fit into societal norms." Yes, yeah. That's. There's nothing bad to fit into societal norms. It's sort of a thing. It's nothing to frown at. It's nothing to point your finger at and say you're bad.
What is it?
I don't wanna seem the way I do, but I'm confident when I'm with you. Lately all I feel is bad and bruised, tired of tripping on my shoes. But when he loves me, I feel like I'm floating. When he calls me pretty, I feel like somebody. Even when we fade, eventually the nothing, you will always be my favorite form of loving. When I start to tumble from the sky, you remind me how to fly. Lately I've been feeling unalive, but you bring me back to life. But when he loves me, I feel like I'm floating. When he calls me pretty, I feel like somebody. Even when we fade, eventually the nothing, you will always be my favorite form of loving. But when